Hello friends, this is Wendy. If you're new around here, welcome. And if you're coming back for some more card making fun, welcome back. Today we are going to use Picket Fence's brand new release, I don't think it has like a specific name. It's just the January release, but it's pretty much all Easter and it is adorable. So these are the stamp sets and it has coordinating dies. That first stamp set I showed you with the basket, my friend Kelly illustrated. I always love it when I get to play with one of her illustrations. And then these other two are by Yuzu Nook. So cute. All of these are adorable. I'm going to show you today 5 different easy fun fold cards for beginners, and I'm going to include some extremely fast stamping and coloring. So here I'm basically just stamping everything 2 times, and the reason I'm going so extremely fast through this process is because this video really isn't about the coloring or the stamping. It's really about the fun folds. If you are not interested in the coloring at all, you can fast forward this video. There may be some mild flashing lights. Unfortunately, when I do a sped up video this fast, sometimes it will cause that, as you see right here. There's really not much I can do about it because I film by natural light. So if there's clouds going by and stuff like that, you're going to catch some of that flashing when I speed the video up. If it bothers you, just skip on past it, and I do apologize. Unfortunately, there's not a lot I can do about it. Okay, so we're coloring all of the images, and I'm just trying to start with my images colors that are dark first. So I did YR09, 04, Y38 and Y13 for all of these flowers. I kind of made these like tiger lilies instead of a pink or a white or a purple. I love tiger lilies, and so I thought that it would be pretty to do that. And then I added some blue because that's a complementary color to orange. And then I'm adding green leaves, and I'm using G09, 5, and 3, and YG07 for the leaves. And then same on these leaves, and pretty much that's the coloring. We're just going to go super fast through this because ultimately, as I said, this is more about the fun folds. But I stamped everything 2 times, and I'm coloring it out here once on screen with you. I actually don't even color everything on screen, but I color a few things just so you can see some of the process of the coloring. And then I die cut all of these parts and pieces out, and I'm going to create the cards with them. Now, while I'm coloring, I just wanted to tell you, if you go over to Instagram, you can participate in the Instagram hop for Picket Fence today. I'm going to link my Instagram below this video so that you can go over there and hop along. The cool thing about the Instagram hop is there is a giveaway, so you get a chance to win, and it's a lot of fun. Okay, so our first easy fold is a Z fold. This is scored at 2 3/4 and 5 1/2, and you're going to fold the top flap back on itself. So you'll fold it at the 5 1/2. You're going to fold it together, and then you'll fold that other flap back on itself to create a Z fold. I'm layering the front of this card with a piece of yellow cardstock. I kind of went with all pastels so that all of my cards would kind of just look pretty together. And I layered that piece, that the one on the front is cut at 2 1/2 by 4. The inside yellow piece is cut at 4 by 5 1/4. And then this white piece is layered, cut at 3 3/4 by 5. I had a moment there. Okay, the second card is this really easy front flap card. You take a piece of cardstock. I cut a solid piece of cardstock at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I have a layer that's cut at 4 by 5 1/4. I did emboss that with an embossing folder, and then I just add a little bit of texture. And then I have a piece of cardstock that's cut at 3 by 8 and I scored it at 4 inches. And then I'm going to add adhesive to the back of that and then layer it down. And then for the front pieces of this, I have a piece that's cut at 2 3/4. There, it's a pink piece that's cut at 2 3/4 by 3 3/4, and then another white layer that is cut at 2.5 by 3.5. And I'm just layering these down. One of the great things about a fun fold card, especially if they're simple like this, is they come together pretty quick and they give you a card that has a lot of wow factor because people think it's fun to have like a little bit of a different opening on their card. So I just encourage you that if you do a little bit of coloring of some cute animals, and here, by the way, we're scoring at 1.5 and 5 3/4. This is an offset gatefold card. And if you do just a little bit of coloring or something like that and layer it with solid cardstock, you can really end up with some beautiful, simple, fun cards. This is a soft lavender lilac piece of cardstock, and I stamped it with one of the images, all those little Easter eggs all over with a monochromatic look. So I stamped it in lilac ink, and then I'm just going to go ahead and adhere it down to the front, and this is how it opens, just like that. And then we have another one. This is our split front, so we're going to score it 5.5, and then we are going to cut at 1.5, and then we're going to cut at 2.5. And this is going to create a split front card where you have an opening in the front. This one maybe you could maybe not consider this a fun fold, but I personally feel like it's a fun fold because it's just something different. So you can get that there. If you want all of the measurements for these cards, I have written them all out on my blog. So there is a link below this video. You have to scroll down a ways. You go into the description box and there'll be a bunch of writing in there. And then there'll be a link to my supply list, which, by the way, if you shop my supply list, thank you very much. That's a huge help to me because I make a little commission off of you shopping with my links. And so under the supply list link is my blog post link, and there you will find the measurements for all of these pieces of cardstock. So this piece here that we're adhering to the top and the bottom, that piece there is just the center that we cut out earlier. That's all it is. So it's not like a special measurement. It's just the center from the two other pieces that we cut out. So I thought I would just share that with you because, you know, it's not another piece you have to cut. It's great because you just turn it on its side and you get to use it. And then this is just your typical old gatefold card. So I'm scoring at 2 3/4 from each end of this card base. And this card base is 4 1/4 by 11. And then we're going to fold in on each side, and then you have a gatefold card, and it's just super easy. And then I'm going to assemble all of these cards. Honestly, I didn't even do all the assembly on video with you because this video was very long because we had so many fun folds. The goal of this video for me was just to show you these fun folds and then have you go to my blog so that you can grab the information on how to make each of these. So if you want that, you can go over there to get it. I will have a PDF available if you want it all in a PDF, but it probably won't be available right when this blog post goes up. I'm going to try, but maybe not. May not make it. So here are all the fun folds, and then all we have to do is decorate them. And you saw how easy and quick that came together. Really, really, really fun. So we're going to start with the first Z fold, and I apologize for being off camera here a little bit. I'm going to be honest with you. When I was recording this, it was late at night, and I did not realize that my camera was zoomed in as much as it was until it was too late. And there's no way, unfortunately, when you're making cards, unless you completely redo everything, there's no way to redo the video. It is what it is. So I do apologize that some of this is off screen, but the really important stuff is on screen, and you're able to see all of the elements. And at the end, I show you all of the cards finished. So you don't really miss much is my point. But I know it can be a little aggravating to watch it and see it being off screen. I'm just going to ask you to have some grace with me on that one. Because it was just an accident, and those things happen. So here, this beautiful basket and the bouquet is that gorgeous set that my friend Kelly illustrated. And I really loved putting this together. I stamped more than one of these baskets and bouquets, so I will definitely be coloring more of these in different colors because I just think it's absolutely stunning. And I really thought of my mom and my mother-in-law when I thought of making like Easter cards for them or Mother's Day cards. I thought this would be really beautiful. Kelly's kind of the queen of illustrating beautiful florals. And so I know Picket Fence is very lucky and grateful to have her as one of their illustrators because she is very talented. So here, I'm just going to glue this down to half of the front of this card. You obviously don't want to glue the whole thing because then the card wouldn't open. But then look at that. You've got a beautiful fun fold. And I'm going to grab my Misty and I'm going to stamp "He is Risen" down in the bottom corner of this card. And I'm going to use some Clementine ink to do that. And then we'll be able to move on to the next card. And this card will be completely finished. I did want to mention that I used my gel pen to add little dots to the insides of those lilies in case you didn't see that. I did do that because I wanted them to look more like tiger lilies, but I knew I could have added darker dots, which probably would have made them look more like tiger lilies, but I didn't do it. What it is. So there is my finished card, my first one. Okay, now I'm going to clean this up and we're going to move straight to the next card. I'm telling you, this was quite the whirlwind crafting session. While I am decorating these cards, I feel like this is a great space for story time because all I'm doing is decorating them. You've seen me color them. You've seen how the cards come together as far as the measurements and all of that. I've shared that with you. So now we're just decorating and having fun. And I thought I would share a little story time with you. Get us caught up. So let's talk about my car. Let's talk about my car. So 2025 has started off really interesting for California and for myself, as a matter of fact. So obviously if you've watched my channel for any length of time, you know I live in Northern California. I want to first thank all of you who have reached out and been so incredibly worried and kind and loving about the fires. If you are watching the news at all, you know that Southern California is on fire, and it's pretty devastating. It's really devastating, actually. And so we have some friends and friends of friends who are down there fighting the fires. And I want you to all know I am very safe from the fires. We live 300 and something miles from the fires. So we are in no danger. Do we deal with wildfires here where I live? Absolutely. Northern California gets hit with wildfires pretty much every year. But the ones that are happening in the Palisades and in Southern California are nowhere near us. So we are safe. Thank you so much for your concern. I really appreciate it. It's been devastating to watch. I have had to definitely turn it off because if you just sit and watch all of that continuously, it's, I can't imagine living through it because I'm having a hard time watching it on TV. So, so I can't imagine living through that horror. Um, so that's been going on. And then, in fact, I asked my husband the other night, I said, do you think you guys are going to have to go down? 'Cause my husband's a power lineman. So sometimes when there's disasters, my husband will get like essentially deployed to an area. It's called mutual aid. And he will provide mutual aid assistance to areas that need it. And I asked him that, and he looked at me and he said, baby, there's nothing to put power back to. And I just got tears in my eyes. Like it just broke me because I thought, oh my gosh, he's right. There's nothing left. He's like, there's nothing for us to go fix. It's gone. And so, I mean, obviously at some point in time, there will be power being put back up, but it will probably be a very long time from now. So, it's possible there will be outlying areas like that need power restored or something. I'm not sure that his crew will get sent, but you never know. So anyway, that's happening. And then the other thing that's happening, I'm just full of great news today, by the way. The other thing is my car broke down. So, my daughter, I think did I tell you guys? See, this is what happens. I tell the Creative Vault stuff, and then sometimes I can't remember if I've said it here or if it's been in the Creative Vault. Well, if it was here, I'm telling you again, and I'm sorry. Anyway, so my daughter and my niece were driving my car, and it broke down. Thankfully, they were able to get off the road. Long story short, it's like a recall issue. My car is only 9 years old. To me, that's not very old. And it has 116,000 miles on it. So let me tell you how lucky I am. Well, we're going to pray that I'm lucky. It's going to be another week before I find out if I'm lucky or not. But apparently the year and model of my car is in a group of cars that have some issue with excessive oil burning in the engine. And my car had to be, in order for this to be covered under this recall, I think it was a lawsuit actually that happened, and the judge was like, yeah, you got to fix these people's cars. But basically, I'm pretty sure. Okay, so here's all the criteria. The car has to be under 120,000 miles. It has to be under 10 years old, and it has to be the first or second owner. Check this out. It has 117,000 miles on it. Yes. It's 9 years old. And I frantically called where I bought it from to find out, because I bought it 9 years ago. So I'm like, I have no idea if I'm the first, second, third, fourth owner. I have no clue. So I frantically call. They do a Carfax report. I'm the second owner. So I meet all of the qualifications for this engine to be replaced. I don't even think I told you what happened. The engine seized up. So it literally just stopped running. And so I meet all of the criteria that you're supposed to meet for this engine to be completely paid for and replaced. However, I guess there is some situations where they don't, for whatever reason, cover it being replaced. I think it's their way of trying to get out of having to do it. So what's happening now is it's at the dealership. The dealership mechanic is putting in the request for it to be covered, because that has to happen first. And then if it's approved, they'll move forward and fix it. If it's not approved, that's it. We have to go get the car, and then I have to fight with the company, like the car company, to get them to fix my car. So if you could just listen, it's a small thing. I'm just going to say, in the big scheme of things, there are people with much bigger problems than this, much bigger problems that are more serious. But I'm just saying, if you have room on your list for just little side prayers that are not catastrophe things, but there are things like, hey, God, if you're, looking for one little thing to do and you just don't feel like doing something big today, could you make sure Wendy's car gets covered? That's how, that's kind of the prayer I'm praying. I'm like, hey, God, like, I know you've got like the fires and the people that are freezing in North Carolina and people that have real problems. But if you're like bored and you're just looking for something extra to do, I would love that. That would be super helpful. So I don't really want to purchase a new car. I'm not a person who gives a crap what kind of car she drives. I want to drive a vehicle until it falls apart because a paid for car is better than any other car in my opinion and mind. So I have no desire to go buy a new car. None whatsoever. Here, I just want to go back to this card. I absolutely love this card, how it turned out. It is just so cute with all the bunny rabbits. I mixed and matched all these different stamp sets, and I absolutely love how this one came together. So stinking cute. So anyway, that's what's going on in my world. I want to know what's going on in yours. So if you get a chance, comment below. Tell me what's going on with you. I'm going to mark off the list. I've told you about the car. I'll keep you updated. On what happens. And then the other thing on the list was to confirm for you all that have reached out that I am safe from the wildfires. No harms there. And yeah, that's the story time I have for you today. I'll have a happier story time next time, okay? No more problems. If you'd like to see another video from me, click either one that you see here. If you want to shop the link below my video. Super appreciate that. And I'd love it if you subscribe to my channel. I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll catch you next time, friend. Bye-bye.